Hey everybody, Jerry Gearhart here, founder of Experts Real Estate Academy and author of Home Seller and Home Buyer's Blueprint. First of all, I just want to take a couple of minutes to congratulate you to come here. We're going to do the hard stuff for a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of real estate math. I noticed that during the final exam at the real estate school last night, I went back and reviewed the exams and the test, and I saw that a couple of questions that were missed probably had to do with not converting inches to feet or feet to inches. So I've got a couple of problems here I'm going to discuss, and then hopefully with what I show you here, you'll be able to go back and take and realize what your mistake actually was and how to correct it if you see this type of math in the future. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm working with this pen right now on my whiteboard over here on my Microsoft whiteboard, so just bear with me here. It's something new, but it's fun. Okay, let's go ahead and find the cost to build a fence at 6 feet 6 inches high around a lot that measuring 6 feet by 75 feet. If the cost of erecting the fence is $2.25 per linear foot, the cost of the material is $1.82 per square foot. So keep in mind here, we're dealing with feet, inches, feet, linear feet, and square feet. But the first thing we have to do is, if you'll notice that right here, we're dealing with 6 feet 6 inches. So we got to convert this 6 inches to 6 feet. So we take 6 divided by 12 equals 0.5. Okay, so then we take the 6 feet that we already have and add the 0.5 to it, which equals 6.5 feet. Okay, so I'm going to put that away because we're going to need it. I don't need that, but we're going to need this. So I'm going to erase this, but I'm going to take and just go over here, and I'm going to mark down 6.5 feet. That's how tall the fence is. Okay, we already know that. So now I'm going to draw a square. Not a square, but I'm going to just draw a box, pretty say, okay? And we know that we're going to talk now just linear feet and linear feet only. I want to find out my total linear feet. So I got 90 feet, 175, and 175. So most people could go 90 times 2 because you got two sides. 175 times 2, you got two sides. So 90 times 2 should be 180. Okay, this equals 180. 175 times 2 should be 350. Is that right? Okay, 175 times 2 equals 350. So now we just want to total this. So 350 plus 180 equals 530. So that is our linear feet, 530 feet. Okay, you see how I got that? So I'm going to take this 530 linear feet and put it over here. And then I'm going to erase my box. Okay? So we got 530 linear feet and we have 6.5. Now, I'm going to draw another picture here, and I want you to imagine that this is the fence you're erecting. Okay? And this is up. In other words, I'm looking at this fence on its side. So I know that from the top of the fence to the bottom of the fence, it's 6.5 feet. I also know that it's 90 feet this way, 90 feet this way, 175 feet this way, and 175 feet this way. Okay? So now I got to find the areas. Okay? So I'm going to go 6.5 times 90 feet equals, so 6.5 times 90 feet equals 585. Agreed with that? Lost my pencil again. I gotta okay, equals 585 feet. But I got two sides, so I want to multiply that times 2. So I'm going to take that times 2, and that equals 1,170 feet. Equals 1,170 feet. Well, I'm done with the 90 feet side. So now I got to take 6.5 times 175, and that equals 6.5 times 175. That equals 1,137.50. Okay? But I've only got this one side, so I got to multiply that times 2. So that times 2 equals, I'm going to put it down here so we can make it out. That equals 2275 square feet. And then I have 1,170 square feet. This plus this, okay? So I got 22 plus 1170 equals what did I do wrong? 1170. Okay. All right. So I got 2275 and 1170. So I could take this times 182 per square feet. This times 182 square feet. So 2275 times 1.82 equals 4140.50. And then I got 1170 times 1.82 equals 2129.40. And then I got to add those together. 4140.50 equals, should be 6,069.90. Got that right. Should be 6,269.90. Okay, that's the square footage for the fence, but we're still not finished yet. So I'm going to put this 6,269.90 up here. Okay, whoops. .90 up here. Okay. All right, now let me erase this. So I've got the square footage of the cost on the fence, but now I've got the linear. Remember I had this up here? The linear, which is 75, 75, 90, and 90. So I got 530 total times $2 and what is it, 25 cents I think it is. Okay, so 530 times 2.25 equals $1,192 equals $1,192.50. Okay, that's the linear cost in dollars. So to sum this all up, I've got my linear feet, which is $1,992.50, and then I got my square footage cost of $6,269.90, and then I got to add those together. 6269.90 equals, okay, and I come up with a sum of $7,462.40. The cost to build the fence. And that's it right there. Okay? All right. I hope that answers that question. Okay. Enough on that one here. I'm going to pause for a few minutes here because I got to get the other one ready. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and do pause. All right. Let's take and get this one here on the road, and we'll try to finish this up. This one here can be a little bit confusing because you're trying to figure out what the actual gross sales volume is. We know that Excuse me. Oh, a lease provides that the tenant pays $760 minimum rent per year, not per year, per month, plus 4% of the gross sales in excess of $150,000 per year. If the tenant paid a total rent of $20,520 last year, what is the gross sales volume? 150,000, 435,000, 285,000, or 513. So remember when I say read the questions? So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take this right here that we're going to take and find out what his annual minimum is. So we take that times 12. Okay, and that comes up 9,120. Okay? So his annual, I got to get better used to doing this thing here. Okay, so we've got 760 times 12 is $9,120 minimum per year. That's the minimum. Now we know he paid $20,000. He paid $20,520. Okay, and his minimum is $9,120. So that means he paid $11,000. Make sure I got this right. 20520 minus 9120 equals, that's what I thought, 11,400. For some reason I was thinking this. So 11,400. So he paid $11,400 over, excuse me, the base price, or his base rent. So now we've got to figure out, okay, we know this is 4% over this, okay, over the minimum, or anything over 150,000. So we got to take 11,400 and we got to divide that by 0.04. So 11,400 divided by 4% is 200. Where's my man? There is 285,000 even. Okay, but we're not finished yet. We've got to add the 150, so we have to take 285,000, add 150,000, and that equals 435,000 gross sales, or sales volume, right there. Okay? All right.